Welcome, everyone. We are so excited to have you join our Transformation Challenge. Congratulations on taking a courageous first step towards a better, healthier you. Today, we will cover what it will take for you to be successful in the challenge. And in order to ensure you capture this information, we have added a secret word in the presentation. Be sure to listen to it and text us the word when you hear it. Now, let's get started. Here's what we're going to cover today. In section 1, we're going to introduce to you the basics of fat loss and ask you to forget everything you think you know about losing weight. We'll also introduce a fit body nutrition philosophy and explain how and why it works. In section 2, we'll introduce to you something we call nutritional periodization, which is a fancy way of describing how we're going to help you optimize your body's ability to lose fat over a long period of time. Section 3 and 4 will introduce to you the two things that you need to be successful on this challenge: how to make a meal plan, and how to track your food. In section number 5, we'll dive into what you can expect from your coach throughout the challenge. Next, we'll summarize exactly what you need to focus on heading into the challenge. And finally, we'll talk briefly about how to ensure. Here's where
the diet industry is broken. In fact, a staggering 95% of dieters regain the weight they lose and then some within only 3 years of losing the weight. Who signed up for that? Well, that's the bad news. But the good news is there is a better way. With the Fit Body Nutrition System, we set you up for long-term success. Let's jump into section 1 to see how. In this section, we'll explore the not-so-secret secret to long-term fat loss. This is Dina, a Fit Body client who completed one of our 6-week challenges. How many pounds do you think Dina lost in 6 weeks? From these pictures, most would say 20, 30, or even 40 pounds. But Dina actually lost 6 pounds in 6 weeks. In fact, every week during the challenge, she was upset that the scale wasn't moving fast enough. But as you can see here, Dina completely transformed her body by losing 6 pounds of fat. That's what makes Fit Body unlike most gyms. We're a fat loss solution, not a weight loss program. Our 30-minute fat-burning workouts combined with our Fit Body nutrition system are designed to help you shed fat while building lean muscle, just like Dina. By a show of hands, how many of you are here tonight because you want to lose weight or improve your health? Great, you're in the right place. In fact, we've helped thousands of people just like you lose over 300,000 pounds and inches, and nearly 200 clients lose 50 or more pounds in the last 7 years alone, and we're just getting started. Look at these transformations. These are actual Fit Body clients, not stock images we grabbed from the internet. These are real Fit Body clients who experienced phenomenal results, and we're so excited to help you create your own success story. Over the next 6 weeks, we'll focus on helping you transform your body and mind by shedding body fat, just as these clients have. Now, too often we make losing weight and keeping it off way harder than it needs to be, with unsustainable rules that set us up for failure from the start. The truth is, long-lasting fat loss is actually quite simple. First, the plan needs to be sustainable. If you're hungry and miserable all the time, or if the plan doesn't fit your lifestyle, you won't be able to stick to it for very long, which is why so many people regain the weight after they lose it. Next, for any fat loss program to work, you must be in a calorie deficit, which means you need to eat fewer calories than you burn. That's science. And finally, to lose fat and keep it off, you need to eat enough protein. Protein is what helps you feel full, helps your body preserve lean muscle, which drives your metabolism, and helps you maintain the weight loss after you increase your calories again. It's really that simple. As I said, long-lasting fat loss is quite simple. That wraps up section 1. Now that we've covered the difference between weight loss and fat loss, we're going to talk about how important it is to change how you think about your fat loss journey. One of the biggest reasons people regain weight after vowing that this is the last time they're going to lose it is that they don't put in the hard work required to change their mindset. Instead of viewing the challenge as a springboard to better health, they view it as a punishment and count down the days until it's over. Does this approach sound familiar to anyone? At Fit Body, our goal is to help you change your mindset from being on a diet to improving your lifestyle, to help you ditch the all or nothing mindset and instead stick to healthy habits that make you feel great, physically and emotionally. to stop playing the finite game and instead adopt the rules of the infinite game. When you do, you'll never diet again. What makes Fit Body Bootcamp different than all other programs is that we take a year-round approach to your nutrition, utilizing something called nutritional periodization. Nutritional periodization is a strategic way to change how many calories you eat at different times throughout the year to optimize your body's ability to lose fat over a long period of time. Our nutritional periodization approach includes 3 phases that help you lose weight year-round. Fat loss phases are designed to help you lose fat at an accelerated rate for a defined period of time. The 6-week challenge is a fat loss phase. After you complete the challenge, you'll move to the transition and maintenance phases to build your metabolism so that you can lose weight again in the future. We'll dive into nutritional periodization more when we introduce your post-challenge nutrition plan, but we're introducing it here because we want you to know that we have a plan for you that will keep you from becoming another statistic. That wraps up section 2. The rest of this presentation is going to focus on setting you up for success to optimize your fat loss phase. In sections 3 and 4, we're going to cover the only 2 things you need to be successful on the challenge. To be successful on the challenge, you only need to know how to do these 2 things: make a meal plan and track your food. First, let's learn how to make a meal plan. In your welcome email, you received instructions for how to download and set up the Fit Body coaching app. Your coach used the information you entered into the app, your gender, age, current weight, measurements, and your activity level, to create a daily calorie budget that safely puts you in a calorie deficit while feeding you as many calories as possible. Remember, our goal is not to starve you by over-restricting your calories. That's just not smart or sustainable. After you receive your daily calorie budget from your coach, you're going to divide that budget into meals. Let's say your daily calorie budget is 1,600 and you decide to evenly divide your calorie budget into 4 meals per day. As you can see here, you'll enjoy 4 400-calorie meals. You don't have to divide the calories evenly across your meals, and you're welcome to eat 4, 5, or even 6 meals per day. Do what works for you. Remember, sustainability is the goal. Likewise, how you spend your daily calorie budget is up to you. But you'll find it easier to stay in a calorie deficit, which is what leads to fat loss, if you're satisfied and not hungry all the time. Let me show you what I mean. At Fit Body, we think about food the same way we think about money. Food is not good or bad, but there are good and bad investments. For example, food that fills you up, fuels your workouts, and makes you feel good are good investment foods. Foods that are void of vitamins and minerals and leave you hungry, make you feel sluggish, those are poor investment foods. Makes sense, right? To help guide you to eat more good investment foods, we categorize all protein, carbohydrates, and fats into 3 categories: eat more, eat some, and eat less. As you can see here, we use a simple green, yellow, red color coding system to help you budget your daily calories. No foods are off limits. You can eat whatever you want. But when you fill up on more of the eat more foods, it'll be much easier to maintain a calorie deficit because you won't feel hungry. And when you're not hungry, it becomes much easier to walk past the break room donuts, right? We know that nutrition is not one size fits all. That's why we've created multiple ways for you to plan your meals. First, let's look at how to use the Meal Builder Guide and Food List to build your meals. Remember this slide? I'm going to use it to show you how to plan your meals using the Meal Builder Guide. To recap, let's say your daily calorie budget is 1,600 and you decide to evenly divide your calorie budget into 4 meals per day. As you can see here, you'll enjoy 4 400-calorie meals. In the Meal Builder Guide, you'll notice the food list in the back of the guide is organized by calories. To build our first meal, we'll turn to the 400-calorie pages in the Meal Builder Guide since I've decided to eat 4 400-calorie meals. For my first 400-calorie meal, I'm going to have a protein shake. You'll notice there are different serving sizes for males and females in the Meal Builder Guide. I'm going to use the female serving sizes to build my shake. First, I'll find protein powder and measure out 1.7 scoops since that's the serving size listed for females on the 400-calorie page. Notice here that Truline protein powder is an eat more food. Next, I'm going to choose a carb for my protein shake, so I'll turn to the carb pages within the 400-calorie section of the Meal Builder Guide. A banana sounds good, so I'll measure out 4.8 ounces of banana and add it to my shake. Remember, the serving sizes for males and females are different, so make sure you're not over or under eating. Next, it's time to choose a fat for my protein shake. I'm going to measure out 1.2 tablespoons of nut butter, the amount listed for females. Together, the protein powder, banana, and nut butter totals 400 calories. Simple, right? After you've chosen your protein, carbohydrate, and fat, write it down in the meal planning and tracking sheet found on the resource site. If you choose an eat more food, write it in the green section. Write all of your eat some foods in the yellow area and eat less foods in the red space on your meal planning and tracking sheet. By planning your meals using this simple green, yellow, and red system, you can easily see where you're spending your daily calorie budget. Remember, no foods are off limits, but eating more of the eat more foods will keep you feeling satisfied and great, making it easier to maintain a calorie deficit. If you find yourself feeling hungry, try swapping out some of the eat less foods with some eat more food choices from the food list. Now, before we move on, I want to share something important about the food list. As you can see here, all of the fats for females on the 400 calorie pages equal 112 calories. That means I can use any fat that adds up to 112 calories in my protein shake. For example, I could substitute 2.5 ounces of avocado or 2.5 cups of unsweetened coconut milk because they both equal 112 calories, same as the 1.2 tablespoons of nut butter. To determine portion sizes, you should weigh and measure your food whenever possible. This is the most accurate way to ensure you're sticking to the calorie budget that your coach gave you. If building your meals using the Meal Builder Guide feels a little overwhelming at first, try one of our meal plan options. Our done-for-you meal plans are perfect if you've ever thought, man, I wish someone would just tell me what and how much to eat so I didn't have to think about it. We've partnered with Evolution Nutrition to create done-for-you meal plans complete with what and how much to eat to fit your daily calorie budget. Evolution Nutrition meal plans are created by licensed dietitians and include 7 days of meals, recipes, and a shopping list so you know exactly what to eat. You'll find basic, high-protein, paleo, and plant-based meal plans on the resource site. Next, let's talk about our challenge meal plan thought starters. We've created 6 weeks worth of meal plans to help take the guesswork out of what's for dinner. We've even created 2 ways for you to portion your meals, with your hands or by using the Meal Builder Guide. Check out the resource site for the Meal Plan Thought Starters, Hand Measurement Guide, and the digital version of the Meal Builder Guide. This is one of the most common questions we hear on the challenge. Remember, no foods are off limits. You can eat whatever you want as long as you stick to your daily calorie budget. Now, one last word on meal planning before we move into the next section. There's no right or wrong way to meal plan. Try each of the options we've reviewed and decide what's right for you. The only option that's off the table is giving up on meal planning or on yourself. What questions do you have on meal? In this section, we'll cover the other skill you need to be successful on the challenge, and that's how to track your food. Now, before you grumble at the idea of tracking your food and your weight, consider this. Tracking your food will significantly increase your results. We'll talk about why in just a minute. Now, you don't have to do it forever. Try it for just 6 weeks and see how you feel. If you're like most people, you'll likely stick with it. And lastly, tracking your food is not meant to be a life sentence or a punishment. If you try it and it's not working for you, ask your coach for other ways to help you stick to your daily calorie budget. When you track your food, you will lose weight because you become more mindful about what, when, and why you're eating, and you'll be less apt to overdraft your daily calorie budget. If you know you have to track the handful of M&Ms you eat from your coworker's candy dish, you might think twice about eating them. Tracking your food also gives your coach insight into how to help you reach your goals. Your nutrition, combined with sticking to your habits, working out, drinking half your body weight in ounces of water every day, and getting good quality sleep will all affect your results. You can track your food in the Fitbit or MyFitnessPal app. Now, you do not need to have a Fitbit device to use the Fitbit app. Both apps are free and available for download on Google Play or in the App Store. The FitBody coaching app defaults to sync with the Fitbit app. However, the MyFitnessPal app is more compatible with recipe building. So if you prefer to use the MyFitnessPal app to track your food, just let your coach know. Whichever app you choose, be sure to watch the videos on the resource site for important information about how to use these apps to track your food. Tracking your food is a skill that will take a little bit of time to learn, but it's essential to long-term weight loss. So spend the necessary time to learn this essential skill. We recommend printing the meal planning and tracking document from the resource site and plan a day's worth of meals. Once you know what you're going to eat for the day, enter each item into the Fitbit or MyFitnessPal app. We promise, before long, you'll be a food tracking pro. Now, raise your hand if I have your commitment that you'll track your food throughout the challenge. Okay, good. Oh, and one final word on tracking. You might notice when logging foods into the Fitbit or MyFitnessPal app that values for calories, protein, carbs, and some fats may be different inside the app than in the Meal Builder guide. This is due to the vast number of different brands and types of food available in the food logging app's databases. For example, in the food list shown here on the left, 1 cup of oat milk is 83 calories. On the right, you can see that 1 cup of Pacific Natural Foods oat milk is 20 calories in the MyFitnessPal app. The food that you select may not be the same choice that was chosen for the food list example. If you track a food that has a large discrepancy like the one shown here, we recommend toggling to a different choice of that food that aligns closer to the values found on the food list. That wraps up section 4. The best athletes in the world need a coach, and so do you. One of the many things that makes FitBody unlike any gym or fitness program you've tried before is the accountability and support your coach provides. In addition to creating your custom fitness and nutrition plan, your coach will guide, motivate, inspire, and hold you accountable throughout the challenge. Here's what you can expect. Your coach will check in with you every week to see how you're doing with your nutrition, exercise, daily habits, and mindset to ensure you're on track to reach your goals. Every Thursday, your coach is going to email you a link to complete your progress report. Be sure to answer your coach's questions honestly. It's the only way your coach can help you. Your progress report is due to your coach by noon on Friday. If you turn your progress report in by noon on Friday, you can expect to hear back from your coach by noon on Saturday. If you do not turn your progress report in by noon on Friday, your coach will respond to your progress report on Monday. Be sure to complete your progress report on time so that you have time over the weekend to plan for the next week. Be sure you record your weight and measurements each week on the tracking sheet found on the resource site. You will need the information to complete your weekly progress report. You will not have access to the previous week's data in your weekly progress report, so it's important that you track your information each week. If you decide to enter your body stats in the FitBody coaching app, you'll notice the app asks for different measurements than the measurements you'll report to your coach each week. You're welcome to enter the additional measurements the app asks for as long as you consistently report the measurements your coach asks for each week. On your progress report each week, you'll report the sum of these inches added together: chest, waist, belly button, hips, both biceps, and both thighs. Remember to write these measurements down on the tracking sheet we just reviewed. You will not have access to the previous week's data in your weekly progress report, so it's important that you track your information each week. One last thing on your measurements. Recording them in the app is 100% optional. Reporting them each week to your coach is not. Be sure to complete your progress report. Your coach is here to hold you accountable to reaching your goals. You'll take your photos before the challenge begins and again in week 6. You'll submit your before photos along with your after photos in week 6. We'll remind you. For now, just take your before photos and hold on to them. You can find best practices for taking your photos on the resource site. And don't worry, we'll never use your photos without your permission. Now that wraps up section 5.
All right, folks. Hope you've captured a lot of good information so far. The secret word is kettlebell. That is Kettlebell, kettlebell. We covered a lot today, so let's recap on what you need to do. Before the challenge begins, download and set up the FitBody coaching app. Complete your initial evaluation. It's on the resource site and linked into your welcome email. Download the Fitbit or MyFitnessPal app to track your food, take your before pictures, engage with us, your coach, and make a commitment to yourself that you can do this. That wraps up the challenge section of orientation. Now it's time to cover a few administrative things. Here are the rules for our Fit Body location. Number 1 is shoes. We do not allow street shoes on the mat, so be sure to bring a pair of clean, dry shoes to change into when you arrive at boot camp each day. As you learn the rules and acclimate to the new routine, we'll offer grace, but please be diligent on bringing in a pair of clean shoes specific for gym use only. This is a 100% requirement for all members. Number 2 is sessions. You are welcome to attend as many boot camps as you'd like. Be sure to book your session in advance once you have access to the reserving booking app. Number 3 is masks. We still are requiring masks only upon entrance and exit. While you work out, you can certainly remove your mask in your designated workout space. The next one is pay attention. For your safety and courtesy of others, please be sure that you are warming up and getting into the routine of stretching beforehand. We'll be sure to guide you through that as well. And be on time. One of the biggest things is our Fit Body Bootcamp is 30 minutes of fat burning workouts. So we want to make sure that you are taking advantage of every single minute and in the right mindset to conquer this 30 minutes. So be sure to start there on time, come in a few minutes early so you're on the mats at starting time. This is your time, so be sure to protect it. And I did mention here, clean your equipment after each use. That is not required from you at this point. We are taking care of that as the coaches when we need to. So don't worry about that one. 3 more things to cover here is bringing in a positive attitude, a can-do attitude. Leave your doubts at the door. There's enough doubt and negativity out in the world, but within these 4 walls, we want you to come in with the right mindset that you're going to do great things. And this is where you start this incredible journey with us. So this is your safe space here, and we want you to make sure that you can protect it as such. Next thing is drink water. We always encourage you to drink as much water as you can. We're always likely on the lower end of that. So please be sure to bring in a water bottle. We do have a water fountain that you can use to refill your drink. And then for the last thing, ask for help. Don't hesitate to reach out. Be that squeaky wheel. We want to make sure that we are answering your questions to be successful in this challenge. It's a learning curve at the beginning, but once you get ramped up, you're going to be on your way with that momentum.